Week 6. Emotional Resonance versus Cognitive Depth. Readings: Goleman, Daniel. Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Nass, Clifford, and Reeves, Byron. The Media Equation: How People Treat Computers, Television, and New Media, Like Real People and Places. Unit 2. Mimicry as Simulacra Power Without Depth. Introduction. This week we investigate the tension between two competing yet often conflated communicative modes, emotional resonance and cognitive depth. While depth implies reasoned complexity, supported by argument and evidence, resonance often emerges from intuition, empathy, and affective cues. In mass communication, emotional resonance frequently trumps cognitive substance, not necessarily due to manipulation, but because human perception is deeply social and affect-driven. Drawing from Daniel Goleman's theory of emotional intelligence and Clifford Nass and Byron Reeves' research on human responses to media as social actors, we consider how speakers, AI, and institutions build trust or persuasion, not through logical rigor, but emotional presence. We will explore how simulacra can appear real enough to stimulate emotion, creating authenticity through emotional congruence even when there is little cognitive content underneath. Is this deception or simply effective communication? What are the implications for education, leadership, and technology? Key concepts: emotional intelligence. Goleman: the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions and the emotions of others in order to guide behavior and relationships. Media equation theory. Nass and Reeves: the idea that people unconsciously treat computers, television, and new media as if they were real people or places. Affective authenticity: the perception of sincerity or connection based on emotional expression, regardless of factual or intellectual accuracy. Lecture content: we are wired to respond to faces, tones, gesture signals that evolved in face-to-face, embodied interaction. These cues are powerful enough to override more deliberate, rational evaluation. Goleman identifies emotional intelligence as a form of knowing that may be more crucial to success and leadership than IQ. Similarly, Nass and Reeves found that even minimal cues, like a friendly voice or compliment from a computer, evoke human-like social responses. This is particularly relevant in AI-driven environments, where emotional mimicry is built into chatbots, smart assistants, and even therapeutic tools. These systems do not feel emotion, but they simulate it well enough to generate emotional responses in users. The power of emotional resonance lies in its immediacy. It invites identification, belonging, and trust. But when used without cognitive grounding, it can be a tool of illusiona, powerful simulacrum that displaces inquiry with comfort. Socratic-style questions for class discussion. Please pause the recording to consider each prompt. 1. Have you ever found yourself persuaded by a speaker only to later realize you couldn't recall any substantial content from their message? 2. Can emotional resonance stand alone as a form of truth or knowledge? 3. How might the appeal to emotion be ethically or unethically used in political or educational contexts? 4. In a world where AI systems can simulate empathy, how do we define real emotional connection? 5. Are we hardwired to prefer emotional resonance to cognitive depth? What might that say about the design of mass media and leadership today? Assignment reminder: students should be actively developing their midterm project, Designing the Interface, due in Week 7. Be sure your analysis includes not just performative gestures, but the emotional tone of the subject's delivery and how it relates to your interpretation of their authority. Closing thought: when emotion becomes interface and connection becomes simulation, we must ask not only what we feel, but why we feel it, and who or what designed the interaction. Emotional resonance is not the opposite of depth, but its twin capable of supporting or supplanting it depending on how we use it. The lecture for Unit 2. Week 6. Emotional resonance versus cognitive depth is complete. It includes conceptual framing, Socratic prompts, references to Goleman and Nass and Reeves, and links back to the midterm assignment.